I reckon spaghetti and meatballs is in the top at least 2 most searched for things on the internet, and this version is leaner than usual and baked instead of fried.
That, along with the fact Kenwood have sorted us out with a load of kit, means it's easier to make and packed full of good stuff, so you can enjoy it more often.
Yummy.
So this recipe has 3 components, spaghetti, meatballs and sauce. We're going to start with the sauce.
I love this sauce. I love this sauce.
It's so easy.
It's so simple. It's basically chop a bunch of veg up, stick it in a tray, get it in the oven, roast it, and then blend it up.
Yeah, and like you guys said, we're going to try and put as much veg into this as possible. So there is hidden red pepper, roasted red pepper in this sauce is amazing. So 8 tomatoes, you halve those and get those on there. And at the same time, I'll do a pepper, garlic and onion. I'll race you. Take off the top and tail, down one side
but all these
and around. It was a draw. It was a draw, right?
I'm sure it was.
But that's how rustic we want. Whole cloves of garlic, half small onions, big chunks of pepper, and with them oiled, peppered and salted, we go into an oven, 200 degrees Celsius, for about half an hour. And in that time, we can do everything else the dish needs.
Balls.
Yes, meatballs. And these are lean, they are light, and they've got all of your suggestions in. So we're going half minced beef.
And no pork.
No pork, they're completely pork-free. And this is 5% fat, so it's quite a lean meat anyway. But what keeps these really kind of meaty, but also succulent, are other things that you guys suggested. Lentils, grated zucchini or courgette, onion, and then some herbs and spices. First up, some courgette, so I'm just going to top and tail. You switch the machine on, and basically we're going to grate it. So this is super quick, and plunge it down with the plunger. And then we can put the top in, down and in. And then this bit is genius. So these are tinned cooked green lentils. Obviously you can get dried ones and boil them up. They're good to go. With onion, garlic, dried oregano, you throw some black pepper in there and some salt. As you blitz this up, it has a kind of paste, but it's almost a meaty paste as it cooks, and it makes the meatballs lighter. The grated courgette keeps them succulent, and everyone wins. And now what starts off as slightly messy, but becomes absolutely delicious. All of our beef goes into a bowl, and to it we add our lentil paste and our grated courgette.
Going in.
Do it.
Balls?
Yes, and now we want to roll them about golf ball size. And the important thing is all roughly the same size. You're looking for something like that. I'm going to ball them this side, you're going to ball them that side. Let's see how many we get.
Having a ball off.
A ball off. Otherwise they won't. Don't just... You keep your hands off my balls.
Oh no, mine are not falling.
No, if they're not the same, they're going back in.
He's a little run, he's going back in, stuff that.
These can then go into the same oven as our sauce on the shelf below. These will need about 10 or 12 minutes. So in theory, your sauce had a head start of about 20 while you've been making these, then these go in and you boil a kettle to get the pasta ready.
Balls
are in the oven now, and for that reason we can move on to the pasta. Rapidly boiling salted water, and we're going for whole wheat pasta.
Okay,
so
why?
Lower GI, it's got more fibre, just generally a little bit better for you.
Okay.
But you want to check it with a single strand to make sure it's cooked all the way through. The important thing is that it's rapidly boiling, you get it in, and then you get it into the water as quick as you can, because otherwise what you end up with, the bottoms are already cooking, and you want all these in there as well. Once they're softened enough, you can give it a stir up so none of those strands stick, but get the lid back on so you bring it back up to a rapid boil. They will need 9 or 10 minutes, as will our sauce and balls. So freshly roasted out the oven, and now these garlic, they were protected by their skin, but now they will literally just pop out. Careful, they're quite warm. And then all of that can go into a blender. If you scoop that in, I'm also gonna add heaped teaspoon of tomato puree. That gives it a really rich, deep flavour beyond the sweetness and the roast here. Little splash of white wine vinegar, literally about 25 mils, about a tablespoon, and a few sprigs of fresh basil. Waste nothing, so all of these lovely juices go in too. And then because we seasoned all the stuff before it went in the oven, it shouldn't need anything more than a blend.
The thing I love about these balls is when you cook them, when you roast them in the oven, they don't fall apart. When you cook them in a pan, they sometimes break up a little bit and you might have 1 or 2 casualties. It's the best way.
Give it a shake, give it a wiggle, and we can bring it back. Tip the whole lot into the hot pan, along with all of our meatballs and the sauce. Toss it together, and we're going to serve this family style, one massive platter in the middle of the table for everyone to dig in. Not only is it leaner, but it's also cheaper. The meat is the most expensive part here, so by bulking it out with lentils and courgette, it's affordable, it's tasty, it's more balanced, it's got loads of hidden veg in there, some fresh basil on top. Up until this point, this is all dairy-free. By all means, add a little bit of cheese if you like, it's up to you. But that is our spaghetti and meatballs sorted.
Right, I'm going straight for a bowl.
Easily enough here for 4, but we're going to tuck in anyway.
You're not missing the pork at all. That courgette is lovely. It's so naturally sweet, that sauce. Those peppers really punch through.
And look, you could just blitz it all up raw, but it's the roasting that gives it that natural sweetness. It sweetens the shallot. The garlic is like roasted garlic and delicious.
Also, I think I prefer whole wheat pasta.
It's got more of a bite to it.
It's good, isn't it?
I like the fact that it's cramming in a few more veg, so it's super lean, it's super nutritious, and you can give it a go by getting the recipe down below.